Wembley Way, a river of white and blue. Leeds United had arrived. 50,000 strong, they'd travelled from Yorkshire to paint London in their colours, to sing their songs, to dream their dreams. Wembley Stadium, a cauldron of anticipation, throbbed with the pulse of hope. The air crackled with nervous energy, every chant, every cheer a prayer whispered to the football gods. This wasn't just another game, this was Leeds United's chance to reclaim their place in the Premier League sun. Flags fluttered, drums pounded, and the voices rose, a stirring anthem of defiance and desire. Faces, etched with years of heartache and fleeting moments of joy, reflected the magnitude of the occasion. For some, it was a pilgrimage repeated year after year, a bittersweet journey fueled by unwavering loyalty. For others, it was their first taste of Wembley magic, their eyes wide with wonder and expectation. But one thing united them all, the burning belief that this time, it would be different. The stadium itself seemed to vibrate, a sleeping giant awakened by the roar of the crowd. The first whistle blew, unleashing a torrent of nervous energy. Leeds, playing with the confidence that had carried them through the season, pressed forward, their passing crisp, their movement fluid. The crowd roared their approval. Every successful tackle, every surging run greeted with a guttural roar. Southampton, no strangers to the pressure cooker of a playoff final, were resolute in defence, frustrating Leeds' attempts to find a way through. Chances came and went. A shot from Harrison, whistling just wide of the post. A Bamford header, inches over the bar. Each near miss drew a collective groan from the Leeds faithful, a palpable sense of frustration growing with every passing minute. Southampton, content to soak up the pressure, looked to hit on the counter-attack, their pacey forwards a constant threat. Then, just before half-time, disaster struck. A swift counter-attack by Southampton caught Leeds napping. The ball was worked out wide to Armstrong, who cut inside onto his left foot and unleashed a curling shot that flew past Meslier into the back of the net. The Southampton end erupted in a cacophony of noise, while a stunned silence descended over the Leeds United support. The goal, so cruelly timed, felt like a punch to the gut. The hope that had filled the air just moments earlier evaporated, replaced by a sickening sense of dread. Leeds players, heads bowed, trudged back to the halfway line, the weight of expectation suddenly heavier than ever before. The final minutes of the half were played out in a daze. Leeds, shell-shocked, struggled to regain their composure. The half-time whistle brought a much-needed respite, a chance to draw breath, to gather thoughts, to dare to believe again. The Leeds end, though subdued, still crackled with defiance. The players, they knew, would need their support more than ever now. The dream was far from over. The second half couldn't come soon enough. The players emerged from the tunnel to a renewed wave of noise, the Leeds fans determined to will their team back into the game. The message was clear: fight, believe, never give up. The spirit of Leeds United, forged in the fires of adversity, would not be extinguished so easily. The second half began, and the tension was almost unbearable. Every Leeds fan in the stadium, every single soul watching on television, held their breath. This was it. The moment where dreams would either be realized or shattered. The noise reached a crescendo, a deafening wave of sound that crashed over the stadium as the players walked out onto the pitch. The stage was set, the gladiators were ready, and the battle for a place in the promised land was about to begin. The first whistle blew, unleashing a torrent of nervous energy. Leeds, playing with the confidence that had carried them through the season, pressed forward, their passing crisp, their movement fluid. The crowd roared their approval. Every successful tackle, every surging run greeted with a guttural roar. Southampton, no strangers to the pressure cooker of a playoff final, were resolute in defence, frustrating Leeds' attempts to find a way through. Chances came and went. The minutes ticked by, each one an eternity. Leeds, fueled by desperation and the unwavering support of their fans, threw everything they had at Southampton. Wave after wave of white shirts surged forward, their every touch cheered, every tackle met with a roar of approval. The Saints, defending heroically, were hanging on by a thread. Southampton's defence, a sea of red and white stripes, stood firm. They threw their bodies on the line, blocking shots, making last-ditch tackles, repelling everything Leeds could throw at them. Their goalkeeper, McCarthy, was a man possessed, making save after save to keep his team in the lead. Leeds players, to their credit, never gave up. Southampton's goalkeeper, Alex McCarthy, stood on the Wembley turf like a colossus. With every passing minute, with every attack repelled, he grew in stature. He became an impenetrable wall, a symbol of Southampton's resilience, a nightmare in gloves for the men from Leeds. Every save he made, every fingertip push over the bar, every desperate parry was greeted with a roar of defiance from the Southampton end and a groan of despair from the Leeds faithful. He was their last line of defence, and he was holding firm. There was a moment midway through the second half that encapsulated his performance. A Leeds attack, swift and incisive, cut through the Southampton defence like a knife through butter. The ball fell to Rodrigo, just inside the box, and his shot was hit with power and precision. Time seemed to slow down, each tick of the clock echoing the beating hearts of every Leeds supporter. And then, it happened. A moment of magic, a glimmer of hope. A long ball forward, flicked on by Bamford, found its way to the feet of Harrison, who had timed his run to perfection. He was one-on-one with the keeper. The net, beckoning, seemed to stretch out before him like a vast ocean of possibilities. This was it. This was their chance. The final whistle echoed around Wembley, a cruel and unforgiving sound that signaled the end of Leeds United's dreams. The Southampton players, overcome with joy, raced towards their fans, a sea of red and white jubilation. For Leeds, there was only silence, a deafening silence that spoke volumes. The Leeds players, their bodies spent, their spirits crushed, stood motionless on the pitch, their eyes fixed on the ground. The weight of expectation, the pressure of a city's hopes and dreams proved too much to bear. They had given their all, but it wasn't enough. The Leeds fans, their faces etched with a mixture of sadness and pride, applauded their fallen heroes. They had witnessed their team fight with passion and commitment, only to fall agonizingly short. The long journey back to Yorkshire was filled with a deafening silence. The hope that had fueled their journey south had evaporated, replaced by the bitter sting of defeat. For the players, it was a time for reflection, for coming to terms with what might have been. For the fans, it was a time for picking up the pieces, for finding solace in the shared experience of heartbreak. The defeat, though painful, did not diminish the achievements of the season. Leeds had played with style and swagger, capturing the imagination of neutrals and striking fear into the hearts of their opponents. They had come so close, within touching distance of their ultimate goal. But football, as is often the case, had dealt a cruel hand. The pain of Wembley will linger, a bitter reminder of what might have been, but it will also serve as fuel, a burning desire to right the wrongs of the past, to come back stronger, to finally break free from the shackles of the Championship. The Championship is a notoriously difficult league, a relentless slog that tests the mettle of even the most seasoned campaigners. But Leeds United, under the guidance of their manager and inspired by the unwavering support of their fans, will be back. They will draw strength from their setbacks, learn from their mistakes, and emerge from the ashes of defeat with a renewed sense of purpose. The journey will be long, the obstacles many, but the destination, they know, will be worth the wait. The Phoenix, a mythical creature reborn from the ashes, is a fitting symbol for Leeds United. They will rise again, stronger and more determined than ever before. The dream lives on, the hope endures, and the spirit of Leeds United, unyielding and unbreakable, will never die.